All right, Lakers as a whole, because I'm not making a prediction on this. You guys already lost me. They have more championships, 17, than seasons where they have actually missed the playoffs. That's at 12. So I want to play a little bit of a fill in the blank here.
Okay.
The Lakers, they will finish blank in the West, Roz.
I could see the Lakers as a top 4 team. You know, I think so if I look at how we...
In the Pacific Division.
And here's why I say this. I think that the Warriors, I think they could run it back. I think the Grizzlies are going to continue to...
They're coming.
You know, take forward progress, and they're motivated. I expect to see growth from teams like the Clippers, who with all their talent could make a big jump. The Pelicans, I expect to see growth. But the rest, you guys gave me an eye. The rest of the West have a lot of question marks and gaps to fill.
Suns?
There's a number of them. Each team has question marks beyond those 4 for me. Players that they lost to free agency, shifting movement. So I think there's an opportunity, if that talent can get it together, that they could possibly get to a 4 seed. That's where I have them at.
Dave?
I think with health and filling out the roster in the requisite manner between now and training camp, I could see them in the 6 to 8 range, competing with teams like Portland and San Antonio towards the end of the playoff ladder. New Orleans Pelicans. 4 would very much surprise me, but, you know, bet against LeBron James and Anthony Davis at your own peril.
Absolutely. Zach?
If they're all healthy?
Look, I'm taking this question as they are constructed now, meaning Russell Westbrook is on the team, not Kyrie Irving, not Buddy Hield, Miles Turner, whatever. As of now, I'm going 7th. And that sounds pessimistic, but remember where they finished last year. Russ, AD, and LeBron, even when they were healthy, didn't work last year. Golden State, Clippers, Denver, Phoenix, Memphis, Minnesota's improved, New Orleans is improved, Portland is solid, up and down the line.
Dallas.
Do they have the upside? Dude, Dallas, I forgot Dallas.
Do
they have the upside
Dallas.
of a 4 seed? Do they have an upside of a 4 seed? Maybe, but that feels like an absolutely everything goes right scenario, and everything never goes right. Some things will go wrong for those other teams, so 7th feels like about right, but as Dave and Roz said, they're still working to redo this roster a little bit, and if they hit that, then the ceiling goes up.
As we continue to wait for Karl Anthony Towns to sit down with us, Dave, when we're talking about 4 or even 6, 7, 8, when we look at past LeBron teams, the thought is just get into the playoffs. Just get into the playoffs and anything can happen at that point. But is there any thought to, well, if you fall into that 6, 7, 8 range, that couldn't see their goals end the way they want to?
I mean, it's an arduous Western Conference. We just listed all the teams that we would consider, or some of us would consider finishing above them with good reason. But there is something to that. They were coming off the championship in the bubble, a banged-up team who did have a 2-1 lead over the higher-seeded Phoenix Suns in the first round. Now, they lost that series. Anthony Davis went out with a groin injury. Alex Caruso was on the team at the time. He got injured as well. But with LeBron James managing the approach and certainly instilling confidence in this group, I wouldn't count out a special run. And guess what? Last year, it all fell off the cliff, went off the rails, whatever analogy you want to use. But going into the year, LeBron told his team, like, we're going to be like the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. We may take our licks during the regular season, but when it comes to playoff time, we're going to lock in and make a run. Maybe that prediction from LeBron was just a season too soon, and he can do that this year.
Maybe I'm too optimistic or bullish right now on the Lakers because I just spoke with Darvin Ham this week and I was feeling his energy. He's someone that I think, you know, commands respect. When you speak to him, you sense his seriousness and that he means what he says. And so a huge X factor to what the Lakers are actually going to be is how he can get the best out of Russell Westbrook.
I
brought in the football.
Yeah, that's Dave's fault.
Russell Westbrook. And so I asked him about that, and he said there were a few things he was looking at for Russ to be put into positive situations, and that was going to be Russ told him he was going to be serious, a pit bull, and a tyrant on defense. He plans to hold him to that. He said he wants to put Russ in situations where they can beat the defense down the floor, transition and more pace will help him. And then the overall concept for Russ's game is him in totality, not just when he has the ball in his hands. So he's talking to Russ about be serious about setting screens. You're going to take a lot of corner threes. Oh, and they've already connected. And he thought that was really important, telling him to forget about last year, forget about how people piled on you, commit to doing this with me.
Well, as someone who covered Darvin Ham when he was in Milwaukee, when you do speak to Darvin, it makes you want to run through a wall for him. He has that presence about him. But you also need, one, Russell Westbrook's buy-in, which it does seem like Darvin Ham is getting and continuing to work on getting. But then there's also just an ability level. So if these are the thoughts, seeing it in concept is one thing, seeing it come to fruition will be another. And
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming, sports, and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.